How's it going, everyone? Landon here with TBS, coming to you this week for TBS Live. In this edition, we're live on site here in our office in Oklahoma City. As always, I'm excited to be next to my dear friend Isela. Isela, say hi.
How's it going, guys? Thank you for being with us today.
We absolutely love that you're a part of this. A little fun joke on the backside of that. Don't worry about it. We'll just move on. Hey, this week is a very important topic when it comes to summarizing your rig. Isela, it's flipping hot outside.
It is very hot.
It's 97 degrees here in OKC. Feels like a $105 at least.
At least.
And so one of the things here at TBS that we really pride ourselves in is our ebooks that you can download on our website, or you can see them on Facebook and download them there. So we wanted to highlight one of our ebooks on summarizing your rig and pull out some really good tidbits of information that you can take from this week's edition of TBS Live, but also download this ebook in our comment thread below this video. And so, Isela, why don't you start off with one of the tips that you can find in this ebook?
Yes, one of the things that I'm going to start off with is the tire inflation pressure. And
Tires
of course,
are huge.
Yes, and of course I had that experience this morning myself.
Yeah, it's a bad start to the morning when it came to a flat tire.
It was, but you know what? Of course, I've heard a lot. You have to check the PSI in your tires, and of course, I chose to ignore that, so I learned the hard way. But those are one of the things that, of course, this book has, and it gives you helpful tips, and of course, the information on how to prevent that.
Yes.
One of the things is obvious, and I just didn't even realize and didn't know, because I guess because I'm a girl and I just didn't.
I chose
to ignore it. Really,
Simple
I would
mistakes,
say
honest mistakes, no
but
big deal.
I did not know that one of the most, the important time of the day to check your tires is early.
Exactly.
Early before there's at least what I was reading in here,
Before
less than a mile.
Mm-hmm.
The pre-trip, obviously.
That pre-trip inspection when it comes to inspecting your tires, not with the tire thumper, but
no, you use the gauge. That is very important. I actually carry one in my car, so that's kind of sad that I didn't even use it for my car this morning. So again, like I said, I learned the hard way. But it's very important to check the PSI in your tires, and it's very important to also check it at least once a week.
Once a week, without a doubt.
Oh yeah, it's crazy, especially with this heat. This heat can cause a lot of damage to your tires and on the rigs. Because the rig. You want to stay safe on the road. You want to prevent that. So remember, check your PSI. Check it early as possible.
Yeah. Inside this ebook, the experts say that 40% of maintenance issues come from not summarizing your rig. 40%. Yeah. That's a lot. And when it comes to tires, a blowout ruins a day, costs a lot of money, puts you on the side of the road, gets you off the miles that you need to be able to make some money.
Exactly.
So you want to definitely check your tires when it comes to the pre-trip inspection. Of course. And so when it comes to the next tip that I want to highlight, one that really stood out to me was preventative maintenance tips when it comes to an optimal engine cooling system performance and reduced downtime. And so I'm just going to read off a few of these tips that you can find in here. There's just a little bit of information, just a little of what's all in here. As the temperature rises, you definitely want to make sure that you're checking the core hoses, lines, and clamps. The hoses and clamps expand and contract at different rates, and over time, this repeated expansion and contraction causes the hose to neck seal to wear down. Very important. Didn't know that he was actually doing all that, but you definitely want to make sure that you're checking those hoses and the clamps for that wear and tear. The last one in here is the best practice is to replace the hoses every 2 years. I've never done that personally. I haven't heard of any drivers doing that. Maybe you do. If you have any other tips when it comes to optimal cooling system performance, throw those in the comment thread as well.
And you know what, it's very important I like the fact that there's a lot of preventative measures in here because, learning the hard way, like you mentioned, downtime. You go to a place and they don't have the hose that you need or they don't have the clamps. They have to order them. So that you're missing out on doing
the revenue.
Yeah, you're missing out on all that. So this is very important, guys. Don't forget, these are actually free, by the way. So if somebody's thinking that, how much is it going to cost me? It doesn't cost you anything. You can download them for free. Yes.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
You've got another important topic.
Oh, my goodness. Yes. I guess I'm learning a lot this summer. Batteries. Your batteries is very important. Of course, you just, make sure that you inspect your batteries. You have to check, if it's bulging, any cracking, any leaks, anything that can kind of just, if it catches your attention, hey, I don't think that's normal, especially when you're like, your cables or you're switching, your batteries out. I know before it was just like a little gel they would put on the post and plug, connect everything. Now they have a spray, which I thought that was really neat. I didn't know. I'm telling the guy, hey, so are you going to put the protector on there? And he says, yeah, I'm going to spray it in a minute. I'm like, a spray? Does that work? But it really does. So I learned that too. And that's very important, of course, with the rigs. A lot of electrical stuff that they have in their rigs. And
just simple, basic information about checking for a spark. You definitely want to check for that spark.
And also the batteries, I didn't realize this, but check them monthly. check them once a month.
So the hoses every 2 years, batteries you definitely want to check every month.
And
very
your
important
tires
information.
once a week.
Without a doubt. I mean, so we've talked about tires, we've talked about hoses, we've talked about cooling system, we've talked about batteries.
Speaking of the cooling system, before I forget, one of the things I was actually reading was there's different types of coolants, and the different types. I didn't even know they had organic. I think, and let me go back to that. This is, again, download this, guys, because this is going to be very, very helpful to you guys. The different types, the colors, of course, there's different. You got the orange, the red, the green. I mean, there's just so much in here that you guys can benefit from. And again, let's keep you on the road safe. And we're going to get you to your destination. Oh, and Bumper to Bumper is the name of this e-catalog before we forget.
Right.
So now I'm going to have to find this.
That's okay. While you're finding this, I want to shift gears just a little bit when it comes to, like we said, we talked about tires, we talked about cooling systems and hoses, we talked about checking when it comes to your batteries. Very important information, but you need to take yourself into consideration when it comes to summarizing and beating the heat as a driver. And one of the tips that you can find in here is wearing lightweight clothing that allows your skin to breathe. Light colored clothing is best as it will reflect away from the sun's heat. And so it keeps you cool, keep your body temperature down so that you're enjoying the day and not being overheated.
Drink plenty of water. Let's stay away from caffeine and alcohol, especially in this heat.
That's tough. I'm a big coffee drinker. Especially, it doesn't matter how hot it is outside, but I need to cut down on that coffee, drink a lot more water, especially when it's 97 degrees and 80% humidity.
Oh yeah, that is, and then how much we eat. Like, let's cut down on some of the foods. Of course, that's what we're supposed to do anyways.
Right, eat small portions and eat more often.
Right.
Very important. And another one in here is when it comes to whether or not you feel, when it comes to checking your loads, we already talked about when it feels thirsty, drink plenty of water, but when it comes to checking your loads, do it between 4 a.m. and 7 a.m. Very important information to understand there. Beat the heat, make sure you get up before the sun rises so that you're actually going to overexert yourself during that time when it's much cooler in the day. Again, basic information, but sometimes we just need to get back to the basics.
Oh yes, we do. And speaking of the basics, like I was mentioning on the cooling system, the type that there is, and it's basically what is your type for your rig. Of course, we have the conventional automotive, we have the fully formulated, and then straight organic acid.
Straight organic acid.
Earlier I said organic, but I mean, it sounds like food, but no, I mean, they have different types. And it's very, very important that you guys, obviously that we know, that, and you guys that are on the road, you're the type that your rig is going to require.
Of course.
Because we have to, just make sure that, I keep saying we're not out driving a rig, but for our friends out there that are driving a rig, just making sure that you keep everything, the maintenance is
crucial to summarizing your rig.
Oh my goodness, very.
So just in the first 3 chapters, you're going to talk, it's going to really break down engine cooling systems and make sure you get the optimal performance for your engine and stay on the road. So, and remember, in the comment thread, we're going to actually provide this ebook that you can download, share with your friends, and any edition of TBS Live that you haven't seen before.
You missed out on, yes.
Or just had to miss out on. Again, we come to you live every week on Thursday at 4 p.m. Central. Just click on videos on our fan page. You'll see every one of the TBS Lives archived for your convenience and watching, and you can enjoy those at your more or less at your convenience.
That's right.
Said that twice, but I think you got the point now.
Yes, and don't forget, this one's bumper to bumper for all this information. Let's summarize your rig, and don't miss out because next week
we're going to be live on site. You don't want to miss it. We'll see you next week, TBS Live, 4 p.m. Central, and we'll appreciate you guys tuning in. Have a great week.